And I understand why atheists have issues with Christianity, and I think there's a misunderstanding of the separation of church and state doesn't exist. It's not in the Constitution. And I understand why atheists have issues with Christianity, and I think there's a misunderstanding of the separation of church and state doesn't exist. It's not in the Constitution. And I understand why atheists have issues with Christianity, and I think there's a misunderstanding of the separation of church and state doesn't exist. It's not in the Constitution.
Oh man, that was cringe. It's Steven Crowder again. Why does he keep popping up? You know, he did this thing with Sargon of Akkad, and for some reason I watched it. But man, this dude had the gall. He had the gall to question whether or not separation of church and state exists. Because apparently, if the phrase isn't specifically written in the Constitution, and again, we're going to go into this Constitution stuff because, you know, these guys, they consider themselves constitutional conservatives or constitutionalists, but it doesn't seem like they've even fucking read the Constitution. You know, we talked about Dave Rubin saying that the government doesn't have a right to tax. And, you know, I had to go into the enumerated power of to lay and collect taxes, and then the 16th Amendment. This is so unbelievable. So he says that there's no such thing. Here's what the First Amendment states. So it says, quote, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So I don't know if he didn't read the part that says that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. But not only is this a phrase that's often used, separation of church and state, in court cases, and it was used by Thomas Jefferson, but that's irrelevant, though. If you just read that and say, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, that is literally, and I mean literally, a separation between Congress, which is the state, and church, which is religion. So the country cannot establish a religion, therefore building a wall between the church and the state. It is not that complicated, and ironically, he goes on to talk about how the U.S. is secular, and he doesn't even realize that that means the separation between church and state. And man, this type of stuff is so cringeworthy. I don't know how these people dare, and I mean dare, call themselves constitutional conservatives, and they haven't even read the Constitution. Support independent progressive media by leaving a subscription down below, leave a like and share the video, help us out on Patreon, or you can donate in other ways. Links are in the description down below. We are fighting Trump tooth and nail, and we will continue to do so with your help.